Dear colleagues, may I kindly ask you to take a seat so that we can start our session. Bom dia a todos. Está reiniciada
Good morning again.
a sessão e
Session is
tenho
resumed.
informações importantes
I
a
have some
dar
important information for
a
you.
esta Casa da Democracia Europeia.
Important
O
information for
resultado
the House
das
of European
votações para o
Democracy.
cargo de
The result
Presidente
of the
do
votes
Parlamento
for the
Europeu
President of
já está
the
disponível
European Parliament.
e é o
The
seguinte.
results are available and are as follows.
Deputados votantes,
Members voting,
690.
690.
Votos em
Blank
branco
or void
e
votes,
nulos, 74.
74.
Votos expressos,
Number of votes cast,
616.
616.
Portanto, a maioria
So the
absoluta
absolute majority
exige
requires
309 votos.
309 votes.
Os votos foram expressos do
The
seguinte modo.
votes were as follows.
Roberta Metsola,
Roberta Metsola,
458 votos.
458 votes. So congratulations, Roberta Metsola, and indeed, happy birthday. Os restantes resultados são os The other
seguintes.
results were as follows.
Alicia Kunka,
Alicia Kunze,
101 votos.
101 votes.
Cira
Cira
Rego,
Lego,
57 votos.
57 votes.
Em consequência, Roberta Metsola obteve a maioria absoluta
Roberta
dos
Metsola
votos
has obtained an
expressos
absolute
e é
majority
a
of the
nova
votes cast,
Presidente do Parlamento Europeu.
and she is now the
Gostaria-
President of the European Parliament.
Gostaria, pois, de transmitir à nossa colega Roberta Metsola
I
as
would
minhas
like to congratulate
felicitações
Mrs.
pela
Metsola
sua eleição.
on her election,
Desejo-lhe
and I
também
would
o
like to
maior
wish her
sucesso
all the best
no exercício
for her
do
term of
seu
office.
mandato e, naturalmente, convido
And of
a
course,
nova
I
Presidente
invite you,
Roberta Metsola a assumir
Roberta
a
Metsola, to take
presidência
the
dos nossos
President's
trabalhos.
chair.
Obrigado.
Thank you very much.
Grazie. Grazie. Membri tal-Parlament Ewropew.
Thank you. Dear members of the European Parliament, colleagues,
Ewropej.
European colleagues,
B'umiltà inħossni onorata bir-responsabilità
humbleness, I feel honoured by this responsibility with which you are entrusting me.
inwiet li ser naħdem
I
bl-enerġija
promise
kollha
you that I
tiegħi
will work
fisem dan
and do my
il-Parlament u
utmost
għal-ġid
to work on behalf of
taċ-ċittadini
this
Ewropej.
Parliament and for the benefit of
La
all
prima
EU
cosa che vorrei
citizens.
fare come Presidente è raccogliere l'eredità che ci ha lasciato David Sassoli. David era un combattente per l'Europa, per noi, per questo Parlamento. Credeva nel potere dell'Europa di forgiare un nuovo percorso in questo mondo. Grazie David.
Go down a special path in this world. Thank you very much, David.
I will honour David Sassoli as President by always standing up for Europe, for our common values of democracy, dignity, justice, solidarity, equality, rule of law and fundamental rights, for the politics of hope and the promise of the European Union. I want people to recapture a sense of belief and enthusiasm for our project, a belief to make our shared space safer, fairer, more just and more equal. Dear Europeans, in the next years, people across Europe will look to our institution for leadership and direction, while others will continue to test the limits of our democratic values and European principles. We must fight back against the anti-EU narrative that takes hold so easily and so quickly. Disinformation and misinformation, further amplified during the pandemic, fuels easy cynicism and cheap solutions of nationalism, authoritarianism, protectionism, isolationism. These are a false illusion offering no solutions. Because Europe is about precisely the opposite. It is about all of us standing up for one another, bringing our people closer together. It is about all of us defending those principles of our founding mothers and fathers that led us from the ashes of war and Holocaust to peace, to hope and to prosperity. Honourable members, our House matters. It matters to our judges under attack, to our healthcare frontliners under pressure, to every woman in our union still fighting for her rights, to the vulnerable, to the oppressed and the abused. It matters to those forced to flee natural disasters, to the families of those killed in terror attacks, to our armed forces and law enforcement serving under difficult conditions, to those seeking protection, to our farmers, NGOs and entrepreneurs. It matters to our LGBTI communities, to those still discriminated against because of their religion, their skin colour or gender identity, to all those who believe in the promise of Europe. This House matters, and when people look to us to defend our values, they will find an ally. Dear colleagues, my generation sees no old and new Europe. We are the first of the Erasmus generation, the last of the Wałęsa and Havel generation. We understand that equality of opportunity is different from making everyone the same. We celebrate differences in Europe because we know that that is what makes us stronger, what makes us unique, what makes us European. And we know that if people are to look to Europe with confidence, we must burst through the Strasbourg and Brussels bubble to bring Europe, its ideals and its decisions to people in different towns and villages across Europe. Chacun se sentirait mieux sur notre planète s'il pouvait entendre la voix forte de l'Europe. Ça disait président Valéry Giscard d'Estaing dans son discours d'ouverture sur la Convention sur l'avenir de l'Europe en 2002. Already then, the call for a stronger Europe existed. We must now ensure that the Conference on the Future of Europe has the support that it needs to ensure concrete outcomes. And especially, we must listen to our youth on this year that is dedicated to them. Dear fellow Europeans, climate change is ravaging our continent and our world. It is no longer a problem for another generation to deal with. If you believe science, and this House does, the question is no longer if, but when. The European Green Deal and the pledge to be the first carbon-free continent is the right answer. This is not only a necessity and an urgency, but it is also an opportunity for Europe to take the lead, to reinvent itself, to ensure growth, sustainability and prosperity, while reducing emissions. We must impress on the rest of the world that the fight against climate change is a common destiny, because tomorrow is too late. And we must continue to show that you cannot decouple the environment and the economy. Businesses, from startups and SMEs to larger corporations across our union, require legal certainty, easier access to funding and an innovative spirit and environment in Europe. They need less bureaucracy and more chances to take the risks that will see Europe once again regain its competitive edge. The Recovery and Resilience Fund will help our investment to relaunch after the pandemic. Like the green transition, the digital transformation creates opportunities, and we need to be at the forefront of these changes and steer it. And we will. Our European way of open economies and open societies is a model that I am proud of. It is a model that must be given the support to withstand the pressure it comes under. And this is a pressure to look inwards, to erect new barriers, to put up old borders and abandon our shared Schengen space, a space we have a duty to complete, or any attempt to discredit our values and principles. Konrad Adenauer said, European unity was a dream of a few. It became a hope for the many, and today it is a necessity for all of us. Dear colleagues, the world around us is less friendly than it was a generation ago. The unacceptable attacks on Ukrainian sovereignty and territorial integrity and the dangerous situation in Belarus are prime examples of this. And our collective security is a common challenge. For the European Union to remain credible and exert its influence globally, we have to remain principled. This is our true strength. For autocrats and despots, the EU is a threat simply by existing. As Tarek Osman put it so eloquently, Europe has, after all, curated the most beautiful, refined way of living humanity has ever known. Cette année marque le 70e anniversaire de notre présence à Strasbourg. Une ville, une région qui acte géographiquement une séparation des pouvoirs et par conséquent offre une garantie démocratique et fait de notre Assemblée une institution incarnée, proche et accessible au service des citoyens. Tout cela en font un lieu évident pour notre institution. Europe has a legacy of war, but also of healing. We can put this experience to use in helping efforts to end the separation in the European Union's last divided country, Cyprus, under the auspices of the UN plan. We can never be truly whole while Cyprus remains split. We must also reverse the lost momentum when it comes to our relationship with the Western Balkans. So, dear members, let me be clear. To those who seek to destroy Europe, know that this House stands against you. To those who attempt to undermine democracy, the rule of law, free speech and fundamental rights, who see women as a target and who deny the rights to our LGBTIQ citizens, know that this House will never accept it. To those who try to blackmail Europe through hybrid attacks, this Parliament will not weaken solidarity among members. Know that dictators will never divide us. And let me say to the families of Daphne Caruana Galizia and Jan Kuciak, journalists, for doing their job, killed. Your fight for truth and justice is our fight. To the loved ones of Olivier Dubois, abducted for almost 300 days in Mali, I say his struggle for freedom must become our struggle. Friends, Europeans, the political model that we developed has led our continent to democracy, prosperity and equality. But if we now are to raise Europe to the levels promised to the next generation, we now need to forge something even stronger, something in tune with the times that motivates a younger, more sceptical audience to believe in Europe. And ours must be a parliament that empowers, that is diverse. I know that having the first female president of this House since 1999 matters both inside and outside these rooms. But it must go further. Our institutions' commitment to having more diversity, gender equality, guaranteeing women's rights, all our rights, must be reaffirmed. "22 years ago, Nicole Fontaine was elected 20 years after Simone Veil. It will not be another 2 decades until the next woman is standing here. And I know I stand on the shoulder of giants, the shoulders of Simone Veil, Auschwitz inmate 78651, who tore off the shackles of that painful part of our European history to blaze a path through ceilings as the first woman to be European Parliament President. The shoulders of the millions of nameless women who endured so much and who fought for us to have the opportunities that they were never afforded. The shoulders of Aisling, Paulina, and all the other women whose lives have already been stolen this year. The shoulders of Europe's displaced and the disappeared, on all those who fought and suffered under totalitarianism and sacrificed everything for Europe, on the shoulders of all those who believed and who believe still. We stand here thanks to them. We stand here for them. Europe is back. Europe is the future. Vive l'Europe. Thank you, and now we get to work. I will now give the floor to the speakers on behalf of the political groups. I start by inviting Manfred Weber, Chair of the EPP Group, to take the floor.
Sehr geehrte Frau Präsidentin, liebe Roberta, im Namen deiner Fraktion der Europäischen Volkspartei gratuliere ich dir ganz herzlich zur Wahl als Präsidentin des Europäischen Parlaments und persönlich alles Gute zum Geburtstag. Happy Birthday today. Ich gratuliere dir und möchte auch unterstreichen, dass du heute von diesem Plenum ein starkes Mandat bekommen hast, eine starke Unterstützung bekommen hast. Ich möchte mich auch im Namen meiner Fraktion bedanken für die Unterstützung für unsere Kandidatin der Europäischen Volkspartei. Es ist ein Signal, dass wir gemeinsam die nächsten 2,5 Jahre bis zur Europawahl 2024 angehen wollen, im Geiste des Zusammenarbeitens, im Geiste des Lieferns. Dass unsere Bürger wissen, wir arbeiten für sie gemeinsam an den Aufgaben, die unsere Präsidentin eben beschrieben hat. Wir wählen heute mit Roberta Metsola die jüngste Präsidentin des Europäischen Parlaments in der gesamten Geschichte unseres Hauses. Wir wählen eine Präsidentin, die aus einem sehr kleinen Mitgliedstaat kommt. Das heißt, auch kleine Staaten bedeuten viel in der Europäischen Union und wir wählen eine Frau an die Spitze des Europäischen Parlaments. Es sei erlaubt, dass für die EVP-Fraktion ich darauf hinweise, dass wir mit Ursula von der Leyen und mit Roberta Metsola jetzt 2 Kandidatinnen vorgeschlagen haben, um die Spitzen der Europäischen Union zu vertreten, weil uns das wichtig ist, weil wir starke Frauen, starke Persönlichkeiten haben. Ich wünsche dir alles Gute. Gestern haben wir leider ein Kapitel schließen müssen, weil wir dem Tod von David Sassoli gedacht haben. Ein wichtiges, ein erfolgreiches Kapitel wurde leider geschlossen. Heute öffnen wir ein neues Kapitel. Es wird ein gutes Kapitel werden. Alles Gute, Roberta, deine Fraktion ist stolz auf dich.
Thank you, Manfred. I now give the floor to Irache Garcia Perez on behalf of the S&D Group.
Gracias, Presidenta. Felicidades, Presidenta. Es un día importante para esta institución, para esta casa y para quienes creemos que el proyecto europeo necesita de diálogo, necesita de entendimiento, necesita tender puentes frente a quienes pensamos distinto, pero queremos trabajar por el bien común de la ciudadanía europea. Para eso nos han elegido. Y por lo tanto, me voy a quedar con las palabras que ayer compartíamos en la ceremonia de nuestro querido presidente David Sassoli y le pido que mantenga ese legado. El legado de un hombre, un presidente que trabajó por una Europa más solidaria, por una Europa más justa, por una Europa que estuviera cerca de quienes más necesitan de nosotros. Estoy segura que si esa es su idea, si trabaja en esa dirección, va a contar con el apoyo del Grupo de Socialistas y Demócratas para ello. Y una segunda cuestión importante también para nosotros. Querida Presidenta, usted sabe que hoy deja de ser una eurodiputada de un grupo parlamentario para ser la presidenta de toda esta Cámara. Hoy usted se convierte en la presidenta de todos los eurodiputados y eurodiputadas de esta institución y, por lo tanto, le corresponderá, como estoy segura que va a hacer, defender las posiciones que de esta Cámara resulten después de nuestros debates y de nuestros votos. Es la democracia y necesitamos hoy más que nunca defender la democracia europea. Le deseo todos los éxitos, porque los éxitos personales de su trabajo serán los éxitos colectivos de nuestra institución y de nuestro proyecto europeo. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Irache. I now give the floor to Stéphane Séjourné on behalf of the Green New Group.
Ça marche, c'est bon. Merci Madame la Présidente.
Thank you very much, Madam President, and congratulations on your election
tout le groupe
on
Renew,
behalf of the whole of the Renew Group, which I represent here today.
Vous remercier
I would like to thank
de
you
votre discours, des
for your
priorités
speech
et derrière le
and for
soutien
the
de
priorities
notre
you've
groupe,
set
nous
out.
avons aussi des priorités
And
politiques.
besides the support of our
Nous
group,
avons
we also
calé avec
have
un
our own
certain nombre de
political
groupes politiques
priorities.
ici dans cet hémicycle.
And
Derrière ces
I'm
priorités
sure that's
politiques, nous voulons
the
un
same
Parlement
with a
fort,
number of
des droits
political groups
respectés
in this House.
et j'espère
Do we want to ensure that we have a strong parliament with our rights respected? And I hope that your first decision will be to support the Simone Weil Pact. You cited a number of illustrious women who preceded you in this House, and the rights that they fought for are part of the DNA of this institution. We hope that these will be 2 effective years at the service of the Europeans. We hope that you will be able to construct a European model in a number of different areas: digital economy, the environment, security. You'll have the Renew Group at your side to work within this House, and we would like to thank you, and I hope that you can have trust in the political groups. I'd also like to thank my colleagues in this mid-term agreement. We've been able to stress public policy
et l'organisation de ce Parlement. Merci,
et
nous serons évidemment en soutien dans cette période, en espérant que cet hémicycle soit efficace pendant les 2 dernières années de notre mandat.
Merci, Stéphane. Next is Philip Lambert for the Green Group.
Merci Madame la Présidente. Et au nom du groupe des Verts au Parlement européen, des Verts de l'Alliance libre européenne, je voudrais vous féliciter pour votre élection. J'ai envie de dire enfin. Enfin, 20 ans après Nicole Fontaine, 40 ans avec Simone Veil, enfin, une femme à la tête du Parlement européen. Et c'est vrai, Manfred, il faut le reconnaître, c'est le PPE qui a présenté avec Ursula von der Leyen à la Commission, avec Roberta Metsola au Parlement européen, 2 femmes de très grande qualité pour mener des institutions européennes. On taxe souvent le groupe PPE d'être un groupe misogyne ou en tout cas patriarcal. Eh bien là, en tout cas, vous avez posé des gestes qui montrent une vraie différence. Et il faut le reconnaître, Nous pouvons être souvent en désaccord, mais il faut aussi rendre à César ce qui lui appartient. Madame la Présidente, vous avez beaucoup de qualités. Vous avez en tout cas certainement la carrure pour diriger ce Parlement européen. Alors nous connaissons évidemment nos désaccords. On a cité beaucoup le thème de l'IVG et des droits reproductifs des femmes. Nous avons aussi des points d'accord. Vous avez été très éloquent dans votre plaidoyer pour la démocratie, pour l'état de droit. Vous avez peut-être évoqué un combat qui est le vôtre aussi pour une Europe capable d'accueillir les demandeurs d'asile qui viennent frapper à sa porte. Ces combats, nous les avons menés ensemble par le passé et nous aurons cœur de le poursuivre. Vous avez cité dans votre discours, Madame la Présidente, quelque chose qui m'a beaucoup touché. C'est de dire nous sommes riches de nos différences. La devise de l'Union européenne, c'est l'unité dans la diversité. Ce n'est pas l'unité malgré la diversité. Autrement dit, vous l'avez dit, nos différences sont des atouts. Et donc je pense que vous aurez à cœur, Madame la Présidente, de garantir le respect de ces différences au sein de cette institution. Parce que, et c'est une note peut-être un petit peu moins dithyrambique que je veux sonner ici, le processus qui a mené à votre élection, Madame la Présidente, n'est pas un processus très glorieux pour le Parlement européen. Parce qu'une fois encore, une fois de plus, le paramètre essentiel de l'accord qui s'est fait à grand mal entre les groupes qui vous ont soutenu a été basé sur des distributions de postes. Et les appétits étaient si grands, et les groupes ayant décidé de ne pas manger dans l'assiette les uns des autres, qu'il a fallu satisfaire ces appétits au détriment des groupes minoritaires de ce Parlement européen. Madame la Présidente, je sais que vous êtes une grande démocrate. La démocratie n'est pas, ne peut jamais être le règne sans partage de la majorité. Et donc j'ai envie de dire, vous pourriez poser un geste fort d'emblée, c'est de lancer une réforme des règles de procédure des statuts de ce Parlement et d'ancrer dans nos textes le respect des droits des minorités au Parlement et la répartition à la proportionnelle des postes de responsabilité. Il n'est pas normal, il n'est pas acceptable the various posts and the way in which they're distributed. It is not acceptable that the majority, regardless where it is, whether it's in Poland or in the European Parliament, minoritise or marginalise the minorities. All of us have been elected, all of us share the same dignity as a member of the European Parliament, and it should not be a question of the fact that certain members or certain political groups in the European Parliament are second class almost. So this is a fight that we're going to be waging together. Hopefully there will be others, but congratulations and happy birthday.
Merci, Philippe. Do la parola adesso all'onorevole Marco Zanni per il gruppo ID.
And now Marco Zanni has the floor. Thank you very much indeed, President, and happy birthday. Congratulations also for your election, and good luck. You'll need it, because the job in itself is no easy task, and it's certainly not going to be easy over the next 2.5 years for two main reasons. The first, because you are clearly taking up a heavy inheritance, that of President Sassoli, but I'm sure that you will be able to honour that. Secondly, because over the next years the European institutions will be facing a hugely important debate coming out of a pandemic, both in terms of the workings of the institutions as well as the political challenges, the reform of our rules, looking at the past to see the mistakes we've made and trying to build together a better future, and obviously also managing a situation which will not be easy. There are many new things approaching in the future, the geopolitical future for our Europe, so good luck, really. As far as what I expect from you, having listened to and appreciated your speech, well, obviously it will be respect for the institution and all of its 75 members. Our colleague Lambert was stressing one very important thing, an event which is certainly extraordinary in the true sense of the term, and that is the fact that a woman has been elected to lead this institution. Less important, but just as extraordinary, and I think I would agree with Philippe on that. I think that I can fully subscribe to those words. What we expect from someone who genuinely believes in this institution is respect for the rights of everyone, as is the case in all democratic parliaments. And I'm sure that you will be able to guarantee that over the coming 2.5 years. So good luck and good work. Thank you.
Next, onorevole Fitto per il gruppo ICR.
Grazie Presidente, anch'io voglio associarmi agli auguri di buon lavoro e di buon compleanno, evidentemente, vista la coincidenza. Noi guardiamo con molta attenzione alla sua Presidenza. Sappiamo che in questo Parlamento vi è la necessità di far sì che le parole che ieri hanno risuonato in quest'Aula, soprattutto la principale, il rispetto nei rapporti, sia un elemento fondamentale nell'azione e nel lavoro di questo Parlamento. Io sono contento perché oggi il Parlamento europeo ha eletto una donna, ma io sono molto contento perché questa donna è una donna che conosco e per la quale non ho difficoltà ad esprimere un apprezzamento di carattere personale, perché penso che ci siano tutte le condizioni per poter svolgere questo ruolo grazie al suo curriculum con serietà e con competenza. Quindi sì, molto bene una donna, ma soprattutto molto bene una donna che ha le competenze e le capacità per poter svolgere questo ruolo. E questo ritengo che sia un elemento per la nostra valutazione molto importante, soprattutto perché noi avremo inevitabilmente, i discorsi di tutti i capigruppo lo confermano, dei punti di vista divergenti. Ognuno di noi potrebbe scegliere nel suo discorso delle cose che ci piacciono ed enfatizzarle, ignorando o criticando delle cose che non ci piacciono. Il suo non sarà un ruolo semplice. Noi lavoreremo però perché questo ruolo sia un ruolo di garanzia. Il nostro approccio, così come è stato nel passato, sarà anche per il futuro un approccio e un ruolo disponibile al dialogo, perché questa istituzione possa recuperare la sua credibilità nell'interesse della stessa istituzione e anche del suo ruolo e della sua azione. Siamo
and also in its
soddisfatti
role
questa
in
mattina per
action.
questo
We're
risultato e
very
ci auguriamo di poter
satisfied at this
lavorare
morning's
con lei, ne
results,
siamo
and we
convinti
hope that we
nell'interesse
will
di
be
questo
able
Parlamento e di
to
queste
work well
istituzioni per
together
il
with
futuro.
you,
Auguri e
and
buon
it
lavoro.
augurs well for the future of this Parliament, this institution. Best wishes
Grazie,
and good work.
Raffaele. I now
Thank you,
give the
Raffaele.
floor to Martin Schirdewan on behalf of the Left Group.
Ja, vielen Dank, Frau Präsidentin, und herzlichen Glückwunsch erstmal zum Geburtstag. Das ist tatsächlich ein schöner Zufall, dass Geburtstag und Ihre Wahl auf einen Tag fallen. Ich nehme an, Sie werden heute doppelt so heftig feiern. Liebe Roberta, Sie werden auch von unserer Fraktion sehr konstruktiv begleitet werden in Ihrer Arbeit, und ich möchte im Namen meiner Fraktion zur Wahl gratulieren. Die Fußstapfen, die Traditionslinien, die Sie aufzugreifen haben, haben Sie selbst geschildert, und die sind enorm, begonnen bei der ersten Präsidentin dieses Hauses, Simone Weil, einer Holocaust-Überlebenden, bis hin zu David Sassoli, von dem wir uns gestern verabschiedet haben, haben alle Ihre Vorgängerinnen, die zwei und alle Vorgänger, daran gearbeitet, die europäische Integration, die europäische Demokratie zu stärken und zu verhindern, dass es zu einem Rückfall in einen zerstörerischen Nationalismus kommt. Und Sie haben angekündigt, diesen Weg fortzusetzen. Das begrüßen wir, und ich bin mir sicher, dass es Ihnen dabei gelingen wird, auch eigene Akzente zu setzen und eine eigene politische Agenda zu gestalten. Sie haben gesagt, dass das Europäische Parlament zu einem offenen Ort für die Bürgerinnen und Bürger der Europäischen Union sein werden soll. Das begrüßen wir sehr. Sie haben gesagt, dass offene demokratische Debatten
You've also talked about democratic debates, the fact that they should take place in this chamber, and all democratic voices should be heard in this debate. We welcome that as well. You also want to strengthen our institution vis-à-vis other EU institutions. After all, this is a parliament that is directly elected. It is the forum where the voices of our citizens must be heard, and we must have, therefore, opposite influence on the political landscape. And of course, I would like to also thank another candidate, Sira Rego. Thank you very much for standing as a candidate. Thank you for also standing up for our beliefs in the openness, transparency, making sure that we really are acting in full transparency and in full constructiveness. I welcome that, and I would like to thank Sira Rego for that. And here in the European Parliament, I can tell you that we're going to make sure that we will contribute to a stronger democracy, a stronger social union as well, ecological points of view must be taken on board. Feminism must also be on the agenda of this European Parliament, and the fight against fascism. And I think that that is very much in line with the spirit of your predecessor, Madam President. We look forward to constructive work together in the Conference of Presidents, but also in the Bureau and in other bodies of this institution. And we look forward to working together and moving issues forward together with you. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you very much. Thanks to all of you for those kind words and points to be noted and actioned upon. I give a little bit of information about the election for the Vice President of the European Parliament. I propose that the deadline for the candidature will be at 12:30 today. The candidatures need to be deposited at the Deputy Secretary General in Office R00.101 in the Louis Weiss building, or they could also be stamped, signed and scanned and sent electronically. With that, the session is suspended and we meet again at 3 o'clock. Have a nice lunch.